So let's talk about a choice. I mean, a huge choice. Imagine having to make one single decision that would decide the fate of your entire people. Well, that's exactly what's going on in Deuteronomy chapter 11. This isn't just some dry text. It's a high-stakes, incredibly persuasive speech where, well, everything hangs in the balance. And boom, right from the jump, it lays it all out. There's no gray area here, no room for interpretation. It's not about nuance. It's about a super clear, unavoidable choice between two totally different paths. This one line, it sets the stage for everything that follows. Okay, so if you're going to present a choice this big, how do you get people to actually listen? Well, the speaker here is smart. They start by building up their authority, but not through force or anything like that. No, they do it through shared memory, through lived experience. It's a really powerful move, basically saying, hey, you should listen to me because you and we saw all this happen together. And the key word here is direct experience. The speech goes out of its way to say, look, I'm not talking to your kids who only heard the stories. I'm talking to you, the generation that was actually there. And that right there makes the whole thing incredibly personal. It's almost impossible to dismiss because it's not just some old history lesson. It's their own lived memory. And this is the foundation they're building on. The speaker is pointing to these huge, unforgettable events. You've got these incredible acts of rescue, right? Like the signs back in Egypt and the whole Red Sea miracle. But then, on the flip side, they also bring up moments of really severe divine punishment, like what happened to Dathan and Abiram. So the message is crystal clear. This is a power that can save you, but it can also destroy you. All right, so after laying all that groundwork in the past, the speech pivots. It starts looking toward the future. And to make this promised land sound as amazing as possible, it's put in direct contrast with the one place they know really well, Egypt. So think about it. Egypt is painted as this place of just constant grinding work. You have to irrigate by foot, which just sounds exhausting, like constant manual labor. But the promised land? It's presented as the complete opposite. Its success doesn't depend on how hard you work, but on a gift from the sky, rain from heaven. This forges this unbreakable link between how fertile the land is and, you guessed it, divine favor. And the text really doubles down on this. This isn't just a piece of property we're talking about. No, this is a land that is under constant, personal, divine care. The imagery of God's eyes being on it all year long, it just takes it from being a simple territory to this deeply sacred space. It's almost like the land itself is a character in the story. So the past has been laid out, the future has been described, and now we get to the absolute heart of the matter. The core choice is finally presented, and it's done in the simplest, most powerful way imaginable. I mean, look at how clear this is. It's incredible. All the complex laws, all that history, it all gets boiled down to one simple binary choice, A or B. Obey, and you get the blessing. Disobey, go after other gods, and you get the curse. That's it. There is no middle ground, no third option. The path and where it leads couldn't be more obvious. But, it's one thing to make a choice, and another thing to stick to it. So how do you keep an entire community on the right path? Well, the text lays out this really practical, systematic plan, and it's all aimed at stopping the one thing that always leads people astray: forgetting. And we're not talking about a little reminder once a week. This is a full-on strategy for total immersion. The idea is to take these words and embed them everywhere. You internalize them in your heart and mind. You externalize them, literally tying them as symbols on your body. You teach them to your kids, talking about them all the time, and you publicize them, writing them on the doorframes of your houses. It's a complete 360-degree system designed to keep this choice right in front of your face always. Okay, so to make this choice feel even more real, even more urgent, the speech then spells out the specific, tangible consequences of choosing the wrong path: the curse. And this isn't some vague, abstract idea. We're talking about very real-world effects. It all starts with this emotional, relational breakdown. The punishment isn't presented as some random, impersonal act of fate. No, it's framed as the direct, personal result of divine anger. And here is where it all comes full circle. Remember how the Promised Land was defined by its total dependence on rain from heaven? Well, that's exactly what the consequence is. The heavens shut up. The very thing that made the land so special now becomes its greatest weakness. It's a brilliant, powerful piece of rhetoric, making the punishment fit the crime perfectly. And of course, that leads to the ultimate, devastating consequence: losing the promise itself. The good land, the whole reason for their entire journey, is just gone. The price of choosing the wrong path is exile from the very place of blessing. But then you have the other side of the coin, the blessing, and it's just as tangible as the curse. We're talking about more than just feeling good spiritually. This is about seasonal rains, an abundant harvest of grain, wine, and oil. It's about food for your livestock. It's about personal satisfaction, where you'll eat and be content. And it's about national security, military victory, and expanding your territory. Literally every single aspect of a successful, thriving society is presented as the direct reward for obedience. So the speech doesn't just leave them with this choice hanging in the air. It actually ends with a command for what to do next. This decision can't just be some private internal feeling. It has to be acted out, publicly and symbolically, as soon as they set foot in the new land. And this ceremony is really the grand finale of the whole speech. It takes these abstract concepts of blessing and curse and literally anchors them to the ground, to physical places in their new home. Mount Gerizim becomes the mountain of blessing, and Mount Ebal becomes the mountain of the curse. It's a way of making this choice a permanent, unmissable feature of the landscape itself. So as we wrap this up, it really leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? When a whole community is built on a foundation like this, on such a clear black and white choice, a framework where everything you do leads to either a blessing or a curse, how does that end up shaping everything else? You know, its laws, its culture, its identity, its view of the world. It's definitely something to think about.